Could you please introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Holger Henk. I'm with Deutsche Welle Academy, and I'm head of the digital department of Deutsche Welle Academy, and I'm taking care of all things digital, e-learning system, etc.
My name is Jasmin Grakoi. I'm from Berlin and I work at the National Coordination for UNESCO Associated Schools. This is a department of the German Commission for UNESCO.
My name is Ansgar Laufenberg. I'm a teacher in Grevenbroich and we are partner schools here in Münster, Schiller Gymnasium and the Gymnasium in Grevenbroich. And we try to realize the motto, the idea of think global, act local.
Oh yeah, I'm the corporate citizen manager of IBM Germany. So I'm in charge for all initiatives and programs by which the company wants to help society, in whatever social causes are at hand.
I'm Walter Betschel. This is my wife, Lisanne. I'm an Austrian from Salzburg, Austria. But I've been living around the world for many, many, many years. I have different businesses and different interests. And we live part of our life, half of our life in South Africa.
My name is Catherine, and we've set up for the last 5 years a program called Global Changemakers. And it's a network of young people all over the world who are active in their communities.
Okay, I'm Heinrich Kreft. I'm in charge of public diplomacy and dialogue among civilizations within the German Foreign Ministry.
And can you tell me something about the summit? What did you like of the presentations or the stories that were told here?
Well, first I really regretted that I missed most of the camp, and it must have been very interesting because of the stories which were told during the day. But it was really worthwhile for me to come from Berlin to Münster to participate, to see this creativity, these ideas, this wealth of ideas.
Of course, I found it interesting and inspiring to meet so many young people with so great ideas from all over the world.
I found it extremely interesting to hear about the different projects, and I was really excited to learn about the different ways young people actually create new interesting platforms which work as participatory media, as it were. And that's of course really interesting to us at Deutsche Welle, because we are always looking for interesting, new, innovative ways to engage audiences.
Okay, and can you tell me something about the summit? What did you like the most? What was the most interesting thing for you here?
But quite honestly, something which stunned me is your question of people, do you consider yourself a digital native or not? And then having all those young people telling, nah, I'm not sure I am or not, which I would say, hey, if they not are digital natives, who am I? That was really stunning.
I think the fishbowl with the many participants and the well-chosen questions and the good and informative answers was for me the best, but also, of course, the projects themselves.
I like the Mercy Meter presentation.
Well, if you say the most attractive, it's always very difficult because there are good pieces here, good pieces there. When I go home tonight, I will lie in bed and I will think about all the different things that I heard, and I will remember that was great. And I look at things maybe a little bit different. It's just not just what attracted me. There were some very funny things and nicely done, and I liked that Norwegian film. Was so funny, specifically living in Africa.
The video, from Norway, radiators to Norway, I liked it not so much for the radiators, that's a nice thing, but I liked it because they really flipped the side, because usually this we are the world, all the Western world is helping for Africa. They turn it around. I say, hey guys, we are helping you, which putting people on eyesight.
I mean, one project I found particularly interesting was the project in Tunisia, which tries to monitor what the parliamentarians are up to. I think that's, for example, a very good way to supplement what media should actually be doing, namely looking after the politicians in a very innovative way. And I think in the case of Tunisia, it's also very successful and powerful in a way.
I'm aware of some of the projects that have been developed further, like Aloysius from Ghana, and it's very impressive to see that what he's started with and where he's got to in such a short time, that it's become so much more effective, and he's been able to get more input, more funds to develop his project further. And that for me is very impressive, to see that somebody started it in a smaller scale and has now moved on very quickly to become more effective and wants to now branch out even further into other fields.
I would say, to answer your question, what I found the most interesting project, or the one that really stood out for me, I would say that was the story of Momal, because I guess I'm a bit biased, because it's a project from a young person, and it's also about having the voice of youth heard. But I was really taken by her passion and by her story about how she really went through a lot of difficulties, but she still wanted to stand up for what's right, for having the youth of voice heard, and for girls and women equality, which is extremely important. So that was the one that really stood out for me.